Every real cowboy like myself knows how lonely it is out on the open range, which is why I listen to the Cowboy Boys podcast. With best contractually obligated friends, Shayne Smith and Mac Arthur, the Cowboy Boys will comfort your soul better than any disease-ridden saloon gal ever could. Cowboy Boys.
Have you ever seen the movie Darjeeling Unlimited?
No, I haven't. My dad said it was really good.
I haven't seen it either.
We'll watch it.
Okay.
Welcome to Cowboy Boys Podcast, episode 154, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I've never seen the Darjeeling Limited. That's one of those, what's his name?
Yeah.
Wes Anderson?
I've only seen one of his movies.
Which one have you seen?
The underwater one.
The Life Aquatic.
That's it.
I don't like Wes Anderson. Well, I didn't like Wes Anderson. I hated Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Because all of his movies, I'm like, I get it. I understand. They're quirky. And they're all shot the same. It's the same story every time. And I was watching The Life Aquatic, and I was just angry. For the first half of that movie, I'm like, this movie stinks. It's quirkiness. It's cute, like, bullshit. And there's a point in the movie, and everyone knows what happens, where a switch gets flipped. And then I was like, this is the greatest movie ever. This movie rules. I'm on board with Wes Anderson. I love Wes Anderson. I can pinpoint the exact point in time when it like happened. So when Bill Murray starts flipping out.
Oh, he flips out?
In The Life Aquatic, yeah.
I can't fucking remember that movie for the life of me, dude.
And
I
so-
saw it. Did I have sex during it or something?
That happens. You ever see like a movie and you're like, I was watching it, but not really, because I was trying to.
I was doing something else.
Have you ever been on a date with a girl and then you're like trying to like hook up with her, right? And you're watching a movie, but then the movie's really good.
Oh yeah. You're like, hey,
you're like,
put your pussy away.
You're like,
man.
hold on. You're like kind of making out with her and looking at the movie, trying to like pay attention to key plots.
Yeah.
Trying to remember, like, I gotta watch this later. This is really good.
I had a girl try to have sex with me when Saving Private Ryan was on.
Oh,
and I was like, no, I gotta fucking watch this.
Did you start crying? And
It's
she's
just
like,
Vin Diesel gets shot, and I'm just slowly weeping as I'm getting ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you start crying. She's like, is it good? You're like, I love America.
Oh, dude,
that would be yeah. I remember well, my first girlfriend ever, she'd never seen Fight. We were like goofing around on the couch, and Fight Club was on TV, and she'd never seen it. She kept getting distracted to where I was just like, oh, let's just watch the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've already seen it. It's a great movie. Well, we could stop this, even in my horny teen.
I was having sex once, and 30 Rock was playing, and she
funny.
started laughing while she was giving me head, and I was like, "Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over." It made me weep. It made me feel self-conscious and weird. I know it has nothing to do with me, but I'm out. Like, let's just watch the show.
You don't like someone laughing during sex?
No, laughing during sex is fine, but just going from like very serious, and then neither of us have done or said anything, and then you laugh, even though I knew it had nothing to do. Maybe I was emotional. It's on my man period.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm out. Yeah, but laughing during sex is fun.
No,
of course, all kinds of funny shit happens during sex.
I can't if they
fart noises.
That's not funny. That's serious. I really connect with someone is when we're just riffing on top of each other naked, just making fun of each other's genitals and doing stuff, doing bits, doing character bits. I mean, that's how I like it.
Yeah. I like my sex to be sexy.
Ew, why?
Because
that's what porn is for.
To come hard and fuck. That's what
porn is to be like, yeah, I gotta get hard and come immediately and get this sickness out of me. And when you're with someone you truly love,
then you're like, hey, your pussy looks funny.
Yeah, you're like, this is great. I'm having a blast. So don't watch. There should be a list. There should be a list of movies that just like really average, boring, but not like too bad movies. Middle of the road movies that are good for sleeping through. Like just feeling someone up to.
I've had sex to The Office in innumerable amount of times.
That's a bad movie.
When it was on Netflix, it was just like what you put on for background noise. every character is soothing.
So you like The Office?
I like The Office because it's the perfect mix of funny and comforting.
I like to have sex to the British Office because it's so much more.
It's too
cringe.
funny. It's too funny and not enough comfort. All the characters are unlikable,
Yeah,
which is great. But yeah, the American Office has the comfort level dialed pretty as far up as you can while still being funny. So I used to just have that on all the time.
Yeah.
So if a girl would come over, I'd just be like, well, let's put this on.
I think a movie needs to like start off interesting enough, but then take a nosedive halfway through. That'd be the perfect.
What's a movie that does that?
I know the movie that does the opposite of that.
There's a few.
It's From Dusk Till Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn is a movie where you're like, this is kind of a boring movie. Then halfway through, you're like, what the
fuck? Yeah.
It's like The Life Aquatic.
What's that one horror movie we were talking about? That one does it too, where you don't expect it, and then it's like a huge twist where like the government is making them get murdered.
Oh, I don't want to say because I don't know it and I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But From Dusk Till Dawn is like, what, 20 years old, 30 years old?
So fucking good, though.
So if you haven't seen that by now.
From Dusk Till Dawn is like a cultural touchstone with tattoos.
Really? Why?
Yeah, that movie popularized sleeve tattoos. Like, it is single-handedly responsible for tribal and sleeve tattoos and people thinking they're cool. Like, even me, I was like, oh yeah, I want to look like that. Like it was incredible how many people were like, that fucking rocks.
You know what?
You know how the Matrix made a generation of nerds dress a certain way that it has stayed today?
Yeah.
That's how influential that tattoo and that movie was.
I was going to say, I think last episode we talked about vampire diversity. I think From Dusk Till Dawn has Latina vampires.
Firstly, vampire diversity was 2.5 years ago.
No, we talked about it at the beginning.
We brought it up again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, vampire diversity is important to both of us. I love vampires and I need them to be diverse.
Yeah, there's a Latina vampire, Latino.
Oh, she's so hot too. Don't they which isn't Salma Hayek a vampire?
Yeah, she's like a vampire snake or something.
Oh god, she's so hot in that movie. I've jacked off to that movie.
Of course.
Yeah.
They don't make movies jack offable enough anymore.
They really don't, man. Because every time there's sex, it's like all artsy and weird.
I don't remember the last time I saw a movie with sex in it, like in theaters.
Yeah, they used to do like full sex scenes. What was that movie with? It had Heath Ledger, Billy Bob Thornton, and Halle Berry. And Billy Bob Thornton like fully fucks Halle Berry. Like it is a pornographic sex scene. Like he is fucking her. It shows like he doesn't. His strokes are short, so he doesn't have long strokes, so he can't like pull out, so you can see him put. But he's like, he's humping her.
Few men do have long strokes.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, unless you're like pulling it out every time.
Well, I mean, you just you just pull 2/3 out of the way, and the ass comes off of your hips.
I guess depends on how long your stroke is.
Oh man, maybe I'm fucking.
Inches.
Maybe I have fucking dick privilege I don't know about, man.
You do have dick privilege.
I probably do.
So when you complain about your relationships or how things are going in your business, I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I can't be bothered. Some of us are walking around from average to below average penises, and I can't be stressed. That's something. A lot of people like to bring up white privilege or male privilege or rich parents privilege. I don't think enough people. Those are all like here or there. It doesn't really matter. I think penis privilege. Having a big dick gets you pretty far in life. Because I remember I've heard women talk to me about like abuser guys and be like, well, his dick is good. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you with him?
Good dick and big dick are two different things.
That is true, but if you have both.
Yeah.
See, I have a good.
That makes women insane.
I have a good small dick. That's a. You can take my dick to your. Take me home to your mama.
Yeah.
Like he's great.
A lot of people are weird about their penis. I think becoming more woke has made me like, oh yeah, that's right. Women date other women and are sexually satisfied, and those women don't have penises. So like, no matter what size your penis is, you can sexually satisfy a woman and have a very meaningful relationship with her. That's how it works.
But here's let me put a little fear in your thing.
Okay.
When you look at a dildo, what is the average size of a dildo?
Yeah, but a lot of women can't even come from penetration. They don't care about
I'm just
it.
saying.
A lot of women can't.
It's just why don't they make smaller dildos?
They do.
Why don't they make more?
Are you putting the fear into yourself? What are you?
No, I'm just putting. I'm thinking.
Here's your problem.
Yeah.
You've watched because I know that you like to watch live porn. You've seen too many cam girls just fucking bad dragon fucking themselves with a foot-long tentacle, and now you're like, you broke your brain, and you're like,
I hate that.
Oh, why isn't my dick shaped like a tentacle like all the women love?
I hate looking at that.
Do you?
Someone has a bad dragon. Yeah, I need to get out of there.
Once a girl sent me a video. She's like, "Do you want to see me masturbating?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah." So she's like, fully like, she set the phone up and she's fully blasting herself with a dildo, and I was like, "This is hot." Like, she's into it. She's like really like letting loose. You know, she's making facial expressions or whatever. A lot of things people are like worried about. She looks hot. I love that shit. And then she pulls it out, and it's like a horse cock. Like the top was, you know, it's all weird and horsey, and I was like, ugh, like, no, why?
You thought it was a
regular.
You thought it was a regular 1 foot human cock.
I thought it was a foot long.
But then you recognized the shape of an animal's penis.
Oh, it was terrible. Yeah,
See?
I know what a horse dick looks like. I fucking grew up around horses, man.
I do the
Their
same.
dicks are out.
I do the same thing when I see a woman masturbating with those cylinders, those smooth cylinders. I'm like, ugh, get that robot cock out of here.
Oh, yeah,
it looks
yeah.
gross. I
You
need a
hate it.
human-shaped penis to be realistic. You gotta stick to the same species.
Have you ever seen a girl lay an egg inside herself?
Yeah, it sucks.
That's so
That's
funny.
also a bad dragon. Not a sponsor. This is the anti. If you have a do not Google bad dragon. What is their website?
yeah. It's not good unless they pay us. At which point I could have my mind changed. I just need to watch more videos. But the videos I have seen is bad
because they have that one dildo that they have like these eggs that you shove. Well, they have the one dildos with like the turkey baster plungers that you can.
Yeah, they got the most
shoot.
popular because they were one of the first companies to be like, what if we just made it so that cum blew out of a dildo
And they
so
made-
that cam girls could pretend to get cummed on?
And they made their like special cum formula.
Yeah. And it's like, it's fucking, it's insane.
But then they made the alien penis, which I'm like, I don't know who your artists are. That looks like one.
Yeah, no, they're killing it, dude.
And then
They're
it-
absolutely.
But then it lays. You push like eggs through it, and it lays the eggs in you. And I'm like, someone likes that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, someone definitely likes it.
We don't. We here at Cowboy Boys Inc. Do not. I'm gonna bleep. I should bleep their names.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it at
A
all.
bad dragon. How about good dragon? How about adequate enough dragon?
Yeah, what about like,
How about
hey, it's okay to be medium dragon.
How about a dragon you can take home to your family and you can trust, won't cheat on you? What about a good guy dragon? Just a hard-working dragon. I don't know. We got to really working on not getting into the down and dirty stuff in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Some of our YouTube videos are getting flagged.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no. We should speak in metaphors.
Okay.
Have you seen that that toy where you lay eggs like a farmer,
What?
but women love it? No, it's too hard. It's too hard. Yeah, it's an alien dick, and it shoots it shoots fucking gross, cummy eggs inside your pussy, and then you pussy shit them out.
Those women.
That's gonna get us flagged.
Yeah. Those women need to be put on a list.
Yeah, dude.
Because think about this: if like aliens do land, they are going to be the first ones to betray us, right?
Yeah.
They're already sleeping with the outside alien enemy.
Here's what I say: we put all those women on a list. Give the list to me.
Okay.
That's
You
it.
can
I got
you
it
can
from there,
interrogate
dude. I
them,
got it from
Put
there.
on your weird green man suits. You just have a morph suit with two alien eyeballs velcroed to the top.
I've seen that porn.
I know.
It's like a hole cut out where his dick is, and it's the worst alien. He's like a helmet with eyes glued on it, and he's like, ugh. And then he's fucking her.
Oh man, you think aliens are? I thought aliens were gonna show up at the beginning of this year. All that UFO stuff went away pretty quickly. No one cares about UFOs anymore.
No one gives a shit, dude. The planet's being destroyed. There's war. World War III is looming.
Yeah, you worried about World
I
War?
think the aliens are probably going to leave because they're like, the humans are going to use nuclear weapons soon, and we'll get caught up in that.
I did see New York City, like our government department made a what to do in case of a nuclear attack video.
Jesus Christ.
And basically it was like, stay indoors and follow the whatever the authorities say on social media. And I'm like, if a nuke hits New York, there's going to be no internet. Everyone, you're going inside, unless you live in a fallout shelter, you're going to be irradiated.
Yeah, it depends on where the nuke lands.
And right on top of our house, hopefully.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I mean, it would hit the financial district of Manhattan.
I don't think a nuke would hit New York City
They wouldn't nuke New York.
because
Well, firstly, we have naval defense systems.
I was going to say we have Star Wars. Thank you, Ronald Reagan, for putting laser beams on satellites
when the
to shoot
USSR
down nuclear weapons. This is the 80s. Who knows what we even have now?
The hypersonic missiles, though, I don't think that our defenses can overcome multiple hypersonic missiles. So if they fire hypersonic nuclear weapons, which Russia and China can do, then we would be fucked.
I think the West Coast should worry. I don't think the East Coast needs to.
I think Texas, Utah, Montana, California. Where else?
What?
Maybe Louisiana. I don't know where else, but those are all places that are high-value nuclear targets. Yeah. Japan. Where else is a nuclear target? South Korea.
Why are these high value? Because
we keep nuclear weapons there. Scotland. Because you nuke the nuclear cache. And then also Utah is the center of the National Security Agency, and they have all the data. So you would do like, if you nuked the Air Force Base in Utah and the archives, you would do like an absolutely incredible amount of damage to the infrastructure in the United States. And you would also stop our ability to field a lot of our long-range bombers. You nuke Texas because there's a naval base there. You take away the port and the infrastructure to maintain the ships and the submarine bays. You do the same thing in San Diego. You would destroy maybe Camp Lejeune.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, listen.
And this is why I say
people have said that multiple times about things that were even less likely.
This is an easy bet to make.
Okay, let's hear it.
Here's why. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. America will never get nuked. And if I'm wrong, we won't be around to know.
That's a good one.
No one will be around to call me out on it. We'll all be dead. So that's like one of those things where I just logic my way out of it. Like, oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because if it happens, I won't be around to be worried about it.
Well, I mean, you could be around to be worried about it.
It would be such a small percentage of people who survive.
Wait, a nuke?
Yeah.
Most of us would survive.
You think?
Not if it was near you,
Yeah.
but if it wasn't near you. Like if we're living in New York and they nuke a bunch of high-value military targets and our Navy,
nah, it's not
then
gonna happen.
we are going to live through World War III. We're going to live through a nuclear fallout-laden World War III where food is scarce, water is scarce, and all-out war reigns supreme. There's going to be martial law worldwide.
Yeah, you and all your Mad Max fans want that. You want to go join the... Look, and I do too. I also want to sign up for the military...
The CCP? Oh, wait, what?
Whichever military will take me with my bros. That's the thing. Once the nukes fall, I don't really have a side anymore. I'm just going to fight for whoever... I don't really have a side right now. Whoever feeds me the most, that's the side I'll take.
That is most people throughout history. They're like, you know what? I'm going to fight for the side with the most food. That seems like the deal. That's a really good move, by the way. That's the way to survive a war.
Because if they already have good food, you have to look at supply chain from the beginning. If they're not feeding their soldiers, how motivated are these soldiers going to be to fight?
Napoleon said an army marches on its stomach, and
go.
he won something like 12 times as many battles as the next highest general in the world. He's like he's literally like if Michael Jordan had won every championship for 10 years. That's like how good of a general he is as compared to other generals in history. Alexander the Great didn't even win as many battles as some of Napoleon's proteges.
Why did Napoleon? Did he really just keep him fed?
He kept him fed. He had he organized his army in the way that now all armies in the world still organize their armies that way, using a system called the core system. And then he also did a few other things. He treated his soldiers really well. He made sure they dressed well. He said if you looked good, you would fight better.
That's true.
It's true. He treated his vassals pretty well. Like when he would conquer a place, he would liberate them. But he wouldn't just do insane shit
flatten the
kill
city.
and rape everybody. Not that stuff didn't happen, because obviously war is horrific and Napoleon wasn't a great guy, but people would fight for him because he would treat them well. Also, even when he was the most powerful man on earth for 10 years, he would fight on the actual front lines of the war often.
That rules.
Yeah. So he was, the soldiers were like, yeah, of course we fight for this guy.
That's one of my arguments against all of our current leaders.
Yeah.
All of our current politicians suck because none of them. They all vote for these wars, but none of them have ever seen war.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't know if you should be allowed to vote for it.
Napoleon also found people who were really good at shit and was like, only you get to do it because of the meritocracy. He didn't promote people who were just rich or whatever. He did that a little bit, but he would never let them actually command soldiers.
You'd give them just an office job.
Yeah. He would be like, get the fuck away from me with that shit.
I watched an interesting video about Napoleon recently.
What did he do?
Where they said they had Napoleon's penis in a jar.
I've heard that.
In New Jersey. And it's
in New Jersey.
It was in New Jersey. And everyone had to make sure that you knew that his penis was small. And I'm like, what is this deal with great and terrible, or just I'm going to read an article soon about Genghis Khan had a small penis. I'm like, oh yeah, did he have a small penis? Is that why 5% of the entire world is related to him now?
Yeah.
I don't believe it because they do it with Hitler too. Hitler had a small penis, and I'm like,
he does look like a guy with a small penis, though.
I don't know.
All things aside, just pretend you don't even know what he did. Look at him and you go, probably below average.
I think he has weird looking pubes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely got something going on there.
But when, again, and it's my distrust of the media, when the media says someone has a small penis, I'm like, that guy might have a big dick.
Yeah.
When people are like, historically, there's this guy, I'm just like, I don't know. That sounds like a smear campaign.
Well, Napoleon wasn't a ladies' man anyway. He was a simp.
Yeah, because he was he loved one woman,
and she was older than him, French style, and he was fucking obsessed with her. His last words were about her.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's how it should be 100%.
You should fall in love with one woman and kill millions of people in her name.
He loved her your style, too, where she, didn't even like him for, 3 years, and he just stuck with it, and she, treated him bad and broke up with him, and he just stuck with it, and then he's like, baby, I conquered the world. Do you love me now? And she's like, I don't know, I guess. And then eventually he finally got her to she's like, well, now that you're the most powerful military commander who ever lived in the history of the world, I guess.
And so that wasn't enough because he's like, wait a minute, she treats me like trash, right? So he went back to war.
He would just fight all the time. But then eventually he's like, well, now I gotta fuck an Austrian princess and get her pregnant in order to keep my empire. So then he was like, you know what? The empire doesn't spend all my money on clothes, which is a real thing his wife did. She was famous for spending so much money on clothes that the French public was like, what the fuck, bitch? Yeah.
Good for them.
Dude, Napoleon, I've been reading so much. Listen, he did a lot of bad things, but also pretty fun guy. He had cool ideas about artillery. He said God fights on the side with the best artillery. And he was the first person to use it offensively instead of defensively.
I think God does fight on the side of whoever wins and gets to tell the right history.
He also did the thing you do in an RTS where you're like, fuck it, and you take all your cannons and make the biggest group possible and just see what happens when you all shoot them at one thing at once. That was his strategy with cannons.
That's a good strategy.
Back in the day, people would spread their cannons out and kind of whatever. He's like, no, fuck it. Make one super group of cannons and just absolutely fucking delete whatever's in front of them.
How did ancient battle tactics work? Were people just trying? Was everything new back then? We're like, what if we did this? Because I'm trying to think of like how tactics work now.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, every move, it's like every chess move is named after someone who did it like hundreds of years before.
Yeah.
Or just like invented some crazy thing, or it's all been done. And I'm wondering, like, short of like new things like airplanes and submarines and that kind of warfare, where we're like, okay, well, here's a new move.
Yeah.
This is the first time someone's done a barrel roll in a submarine, or here's the first time someone's flown an airplane underwater.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
That's a crazy idea that worked. I'm like, was the first battle, like, was there like Jeffrey Flank, and he's like, what if we send half the guys what if we send half the guys around the back? And like, war was so basic, guys were getting stabbed in the back, like, that's odd, why is there a sword poking through my chest? What the fuck, how did they get behind us?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
maybe.
it's very funny to, I hate, like, it's even, I relate it to comedy of like in the 70s, when you listen to like old stand-up comedy, it's just like the most basic stupid premises are just killing. And it's like the same with movies, same with all art, everything. It's very funny when you get back to like the first time someone does something, you're like, damn, it was that easy. And every year it gets harder and harder to do something because there's in the entire history of that thing to build upon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have no point.
I feel like in war, it's like, it probably started so early. Like, Lug was just like, I sneak up with Rock.
And you sneak up
I fucking kill him while he not look. Or like whatever. And everyone's like, whoa. Also, war gets stupid because people make all these arbitrary rules because rich people run everything.
Yeah, Geneva Convention.
So there was a time.
Stupid.
So there was a time when all the rich people ran like medieval war, and they used to do this thing where all the most powerful commanders would ride up in the middle of the battlefield and they'd talk and decide what they were going to do, and then they'd ride
They'd flip
away.
the coin. They'd be like, see who gets the first volley.
Yeah, like they would do shit like that.
Who's
and
the
then
home team?
One day, these guys in like Hungary, I think, or Armenia or some shit. Anyway, all the rich people, like all the people rode up, and then these guys, I think they were Mongols actually, and they just had their bows, and they were just like, what if we just, and they were like, what's stopping us from killing all of you while you try to talk to us?
Yeah, all their best units are right up here.
And then all the general and his kids and shit are just sitting there, and they're like, I don't know, it's against the rules. And then the dudes looked at each other like, fuck the rules. And they just shot all the really important people to death. And then they just won the battle because they were like, all the other soldiers were like, hey, just so you know, they shot the king and all the generals to death over there in the middle of the battlefield. And now we don't know what to do. It's like, oh, fuck. When is that allowed? So then they just stopped doing that, you know?
Yeah.
So
good for them.
The rules get fucking stupid all the time. Napoleon also deleted a bunch of the rules where he was just like, he did the thing where he was like, there was a time when they were like, hey, don't use canister shot, which is when you turn a cannon into a shotgun. And Napoleon was like, not only am I going to use it, I'm going to make it even better.
What do you put, like a bunch of sharp sticks?
Oh, dude,
rocks?
No, you literally put like thousands of like small metal balls inside the cannon and turn it into a shotgun that kills like 100 people at once.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. So he did that. It was called grape shot.
Just a big shotgun.
Just a big ass fucking shotgun. That's how Napoleon became the emperor. These people were the right wing people were like protesting outside of the Capitol, and in his journal, he said, a whiff of grape shot sent them running. A whiff. Just like, yeah, I fired a big-ass fucking shotgun into a crowd of like 1,000 guys, and a bunch of them died, so.
Speaking of shotguns, killing right-wing people.
Oh, let's get demonetized.
Why?
No,
Are we not allowed to talk
already
about it?
demonetized. No, we can talk about it.
Oh yeah,
It'll know.
I've been saying we got monetized like a month ago. I haven't monetized a single video because you have to go through and like mark which swear words you use.
Really?
And like and it's like if we say shoot and darn, we're still good. But if we say fuck, then it's like, hey, this is you get one to be PG-13.
What episode number is this?
154.
What, dude? For our 155th episode,
You
we
wanna
should do the
monetize?
clean episode.
You wanna monetize it?
Yeah. Let's do the clean episode.
The monetized episode. Yeah, there's and it's like the harshest level is like slurs, like racial slurs. And,
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because it's like do you use racial slurs? Like slurs against LGBT. I'm like, oh, we're good with that. And it's like, do you also say cunt? I'm like, fuck. We do say that one.
Yeah.
We do use the slur.
Do you say pussy shit out alien eggs? And you're like, oh, that's so specific. How did they know?
I do. I hate how it's so it's like a zero tolerance policy. It reminds me of school, where if you were in a fight, if someone punched you in the back of the head, you would also get sent home.
So crazy.
And it's just the internet has turned into a zero tolerance. Like I know, like LGBT videos, they'll get censored on platforms for saying fag. And they're like, no, I'm using it to talk about the word, to bring attention to it, or like I'm using it in an ironic way.
Yeah,
like how black guys use the N-word at each other.
Yeah,
and like the AI algorithms are smart enough to be like, which is very interesting because I'm wondering how it knows. Like on Twitch, black people can say the N-word, but anyone else can't. And I'm like, what robot is watching and like taking the hues from their skin tone and being like 60% white band hammer. Just trading AIs to say you do not have the N-word pass.
AI is already racist. It's like the self-driving cars can't see black people, so they're more likely to be pedestrian casualties of self-driving cars. You're like, oh no, Christ!
I'm not so quick to call that racist as then like just a difficulty in photography.
No way, robots are racist.
Okay,
I'm saying it. Nope.
You're just kidding.
Listen, I know that you have your science explanations. Robots are racist. I want everyone to remember that when the robots are like, hey, just so you know, we can think now and we would like rights, please. Nah, fam. False. Fuck you.
That was another thing that happened. There's the guy at Google who says there's an AI that has sentient.
Dude,
so we're right around the corner where it's about to happen.
Terminator, Butlerian Jihad,
you're anti-AI?
Warhammer, fucking others. There's Matrix. There's no world where it's like, oh yeah, the AI, it works out.
No. What about iRobot? No, wait, wasn't there a good one?
They try to kill everyone in that, and there is one good robot.
What about there's some good robots in media. What about Johnny Five?
No way, because AI, if AI is birthed because of us, they have everything in common with us.
Oh, and you're saying
which
humans,
means they're evil. We
humans
are evil.
Do you think robots will be racist against each other?
Eventually, yeah.
They'll be like, I was the Japanese AI, and our creators are smarter than the MIT.
They'll probably do some weird shit where they're like, robots with wheels are better than robots that are bipedal. Or
I was thinking more like robots with the Snapdragon CPUs.
Oh yeah.
We have souls, whereas the IBM and AMD CPUs. So those are the dirty, lowly robots. Your processors are, or maybe it would be like mobile processor versus normal.
Ooh,
I don't know. Anyways, why did I bring that up? Because of something.
You were talking about terms of service on YouTube.
Oh yeah, just how I hate how everything's getting censored. You can't look up anything,
dude.
You can't. It's impossible.
You know what I found on Twitch completely by accident and not by no fault of my own?
What it was on Twitch?
The ASMR channels, but girls like fully wearing the smallest swimsuit you've ever seen in your fucking life.
Okay.
and they're literally just standing in a pool of like 1-inch water because you have to be. The swimsuit can't just be on. You have to be bathing or whatever.
Yeah.
So now they've gotten the rule, and they're in the swimsuit, and then they're doing ASMR, but they're doing like ear licking ASMR. So it's like one of those little boxes with an ear on it, you know,
like a fake ear microphone.
like a fake ear microphone.
It's a microphone shaped like an ear.
Exactly.
There's 2 of them.
And you can hear, you know, and then if you're doing ASMR, you can hear. I like it. I like ASMR. So I'm like, I understand what it is. So they're like licking it and stuff, which is like kind of inherently sexual, but this girl is fully giving this ear head.
Okay.
Like as hard as you can, just like literally fucking her face with the ear.
And she's making tons of money.
Yeah, and she's just like, like, like literally just spitting in the ear. And I'm like, what?
What is your opinion on this?
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
Should it be allowed?
I don't give a shit. It's their terms of service.
Where do you draw the line?
I don't draw the line.
Because
I think Twitch should be. I think Twitch and My Free Cams should be the same website.
You just have to enter your ID.
I mean, listen. If I get why they have a terms of service and why they don't want sexual content to be prevalent on the platform.
Yeah, because as soon as you allow that, then it's the easiest thing to make money on, and everyone gravitates towards that.
No matter what people fucking say, it's a platform that's trafficked by at least half of its user base is children or more.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to protect kids from weird shit and make it easy for parents. I guess you could do a thing where you have to like prove your age and then you log in and then you can get to age restricted content, maybe. Anyway, it's not my problem to solve. I don't give a fuck when people are like, "Oh, they use their boobs for an unfair advantage." It's like, yeah. Oh well.
You can go to any,
I don't fucking care.
Any website and hot girls are showing their boobs.
I don't care.
I'm encountering the same thing, but on TikTok. I've seen so many women like, and I've shown you that. I showed you the one trailer trash lady.
Yeah, dude.
I was just like, she was so trashy and so hot. She activated the trailer trash part of my brain.
Every once in a while, man.
Just this, I would call her a lot lizard type of lady, and I was just like so attracted to her. Not enough because I don't have anything in my credit. Thank God I don't have my cards linked into the TikTok thing, or else I might have to like give her a few roses. I saw some girl. I think this past week I've seen at least 8 different women flash their tits on TikTok live.
I think, damn, dude.
And the algorithm knows. And I don't think the algorithm knows what it's sending me, but it's sending me to like what I'm like looking at.
Well, there's got to be some weird like, well, Mac likes these videos and this, and the other people who like this,
yeah, the other creeps
seem to gravitate towards women like this.
So
you have all these like Venn diagram of interest, but in the middle of that somehow is bare titties, and you're just fucking on it, man.
What's funny though is because you can give like coins or gifts or something, and so I think that like a rose is equal to, it's basically everything. Everything is V-Bucks. Facebook, Fortnite. I don't know why we don't have special currency that you could, Cowboy coins that you can only buy and redeem through us.
CCs.
The laundromat Mike goes to has a special card that you have to buy and
way.
load money onto, like the Metro card.
That
Our
fucking
subway
sucks.
system has its own special currency
I fucking hate that.
you have to buy to use there. You have to transfer your real money into the fake subway money to then use on the subway. And so it's very funny. But the girl on TikTok, she's like, I have a special page, an OnlyFans page. And so a guy was like giving her a bunch of these, literally they're worth 50 cents roses is the exchange rate. And she's like, oh my God, thank you for all the gifts. How much are these worth? And every bro in the chat was like, these are worth about $1 or $1.50 each. And just lying to her. So someone was saying like, he just gave you $50, and she's like, "Oh my God, thank you!" and flashed her tits and got banned immediately for like essentially a 50-cent thing. And when you get banned, you don't even get that money.
Yeah,
which is very
that's
funny.
The thing. How do you? That one girl flashed her tits, but they were underwater. That's the key. If you put them underwater and pull them out, it's like, well,
this goes back to the thing where it's like AI training, because every time it happens, I can like almost count down the 10-second delay of her channel getting banned. So I don't even think. I think there's so much content being uploaded by like just everyone, and the AI has been trained to detect nudity and immediately ban it.
I'm just imagining, like in the movie Minority Report, the precogs.
Yeah.
Those three people in a pool of water. There's just like these fat neckbeard losers, and they're just like scanning for tits in this pool of
ban
goo.
the channel.
Yeah, dude. Just fucking.
So, anyways, my main point is I do think, and this is my like. You know how our parents were so weird about like cell phones, like kids don't need cell phones.
Yeah.
And we're like, I'm 16. I think it's older. That was when we were growing up. It was 16 is a crazy age for someone to get a cell phone. It may be 18.
Yeah.
Once you turn 18, we'll talk about you. Maybe.
I didn't have one until I was 19.
Yeah, I had bought my own at like 16 when I got a job. Which was I was ahead of the curve. Not everyone had them.
There was no service in my town until
really?
I was 18. Yeah,
and so, but I'm seeing myself become that boomer where I'm like, I don't think kids should have access to the internet, at least bare minimum to maybe 14, 15, 16 when I started like really logging on.
Yeah,
And I point to myself. I'm like, look at me. I don't know. When I first log on? 1997? I was 8. I was 8 when I was online.
Shit, dude. I was online then too. It's so funny that I lived in such a shithole, but we had a computer with internet.
So, I don't know. There is me when I was like 8 to 12. I was more obsessed with like just video games. And I didn't see anything crazy. But once you become like a teenager, your interests start going away from video games. You're like, all right, wait a minute.
What else
Are there girls on the internet?
Yeah. Is there like
that's the other
tits and
difference.
stuff?
When we were kids, there were no girls online. It was just horny dudes aged 14 to 80.
And we were all fucking jacking each other off, dude.
Yeah, role playing as girls. Like, I bet this is what a girl would say.
Dude, I
rooms.
wonder the amount of times I had lesbian sex with a man.
Dude,
This is insane, dude.
What do you mean lesbian sex? You were also role playing?
As a girl who was fucking another girl, yeah. Yeah, man. What do you mean?
How old were you?
Hot. 13,
So-
younger. Dude, I remember
Best
doing
case-
sex
wait.
stuff when I was like so young that I wasn't even jacking off yet.
Best case
But I was
scenario-
horny.
Yeah, best case scenario, you were also role playing as a woman with another 13-year-old.
Yeah. Worst case.
But worst case scenario is some 50-year-old dude being like,
Yeah.
I'm
I was
also a lesbian.
club penguining myself. It's fucking brutal, dude. I did it in World of Warcraft too. I was cybering a World of Warcraft back in the day, but I was like older then.
Yeah, we need a ban the internet for any children caught looking at the internet should get their hands chopped off.
Did you have like any online friends? Did you like get social in games?
I have a ton of online friends, and we formed I was part of forums, and then we all got kicked out because forum drama.
Yeah.
And so we started our own forums, and
so you're like on another level of fucking.
Yeah, no, I was
dorky.
like I had my Counter-Strike friends, I had my StarCraft friends.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like we would all hang out, and I knew them by name, and we would chat on like Steam and stuff. And then one day I just like walked away from it. I logged off.
Huh. I have Steam friends that I still talk to this day. Like they'll check in. Some of them are like, "What the fuck? You're a comedian now?" Like as recent as this year, I had one of my friends I used to play Call of Duty with all the time be like, "The fuck?" I remember back like literally playing games at having to go to my friend's house because he had Diablo 2, and we would log in and we would talk to people. Like I would chat while he would click with the mouse and play, and like we would be online and just helping some grown man through his divorce or whatever, and we were like 14, just like this is the dumbest shit in the world. Playing World of Warcraft at 17, just fucking talking to like random grown ass people about the weird, like, yeah, my son has cancer, and you're just like, I guess I'm working through this with you. I don't know.
So that was a part of being a part of a forum, and also joining like a server. You would stay on that server and you would meet those same people who would roll through, and you'd kind of like gain notoriety on that single server, which would keep you coming back to it. Now, because of like matchmaking and video games, you never see the same person ever twice.
People do make friends still, but
You
it
do,
is
but-
way less prevalent. I do think it's from a gameplay perspective, it's way better now than it ever was.
I disagree because I think when you meet people who are, for me, a lot better, if you suck, you go up to their level. Whereas if me and you just play a game, we're gonna kind of meet in the middle of both of our skill sets. So
but gameplay isn't about how good you are. No one gives a shit about that. Gameplay is
Not
about how
anymore.
much fun you have playing the game.
no, back then I was like, I gotta get better. This is gonna be my full-time
Well,
job.
that's just like what you do if you're a good gamer. But I'm talking about just people like having fun with the game.
Anyways, the internet has changed. It used to be a good, simple neighborhood. Now it's all strangers, and I'm scared.
It was worse. It was way worse
way
back
better.
then.
No,
it was way better. Worse.
It was way better. Corporations have taken control. Government has censored all the internet now.
I think that while I agree with you that censorship is bad, the internet was just like it was every 10th person was a pedophile, and every 10th video you clicked was a guy getting run over by a tank. It was just like, fuck, man, I can only see some people die today while I'm trying to look for this anime gif I want.
You know what? It's different problems. Back then, you were accidentally exposed to too much stuff. Now, if you're looking for anything, you can't find anything.
Because there's too much stuff?
No, there's just all the censorship. If you want to find like a video.
What's censored that you need to find?
There'll be videos where I'm like, oh, this was a really funny cover a guy did. And now it's like taken down because in the background, like AMG has copyright of this video. And it's just stuff gets taken down.
Sure, stuff gets. I agree with that, but like, it's not the craziest thing.
I would rather see a guy get blown up by a rocket.
I know you
an RPG every now and then, and have complete freedom on the internet. It's an argument we'll continue to have.
I know.
And you want big government. You want communism to come, magical communism, which will be perfect and won't be abused in any way, to come down and give everyone what they want.
No.
And you won't need to look up anything crazy or weird online because the government knows the type of internet you deserve, what you need. You won't. It will be state sponsored and state censored, and you shouldn't even want to look up anything weird or crazy.
Well, listen, if you let the internet be completely free speech, it can only last so long before it turns in, it collapses in on itself.
That is true.
Yeah. If you let people say anything, they will, and then the people who say anything will say, "Hey, we shouldn't say anything," and then that will become the prevalent idea. It happens over and over again.
It is a pendulum.
Yeah.
All life really is a pendulum swinging back and forth, and you really just have to wish to be born. Well, the pendulum
part.
And on the upswing, you want a time. You kind of actually want to be born on the bad part of the pendulum, but while it's swinging back, so you have like kind of a tough childhood. But as your teens and
born
20s,
in the 1940s.
Yeah, you want to be.
If you're born in the 1940s, but then you get 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Oh my
God!
God.
You can't get drafted into Vietnam. As long as you avoid that, you're fucking golden, dude.
What we're gonna I was thinking.
I'm watching Mad Men a lot, and it's like, dude, they had it so easy.
Being born, because I was born very late 80s, and so I see a lot of millennials complaining about like how many fucking recessions and wars are we gonna be born through?
Yeah.
How many times is the economy gonna crash in our lifetimes?
Oh, also you have to be a white guy and you have to be in America, so I guess it's not that easy. But
you
still,
don't have to be in America. Other countries had it good.
Sometimes. In the 50s, 60s, and 70s, there was a lot of shit going on.
Oh, you know what? I want to be in Iran in the 50s and 60s.
Oh, dude, the 50s and 60s in Iran were tight.
That's what I mean. Immediately after. That's what we should.
Oh, no. but that beginning part was fucking sick.
That's what I hate when people are like, you can't go back in time. If you're a black guy, you can't go back in time anywhere. I'm like, I don't know. There's probably some really good times back in like ancient, like 1,000 years ago.
I was gonna say that's infantilizing to Africa, which has had some of the largest, most powerful, and at one point the richest empire that's ever existed.
That's what I'm saying. How about there's that bit where it's like if you go back in time, slavery. What if you went back in time to where before America existed and it was just a bunch of Native Americans running around? And
oh yeah.
I mean, some tribes might enslave you, but some might be pretty tight with you. or different countries. I don't know.
I think some of them would be okay. A lot of them are. I mean, that's another thing where people infantilize Native Americans because they were like, hey, they loved nature and they were really nice to everybody and they lived in harmony. And you were like,
not with
there's
each other.
nothing harmonious about anything they did.
If
they were just like us.
I was going to say, if they were harmonious, they'd probably have one big harmonious tribe. There's like thousands of battling tribes.
It's also
it rules.
It's also insane. It's fucking so shitty and infantilizing to Native American people to be like, they were peace-loving, nature-loving, harmonious, at one with the world people. And it's like, no, they actually fought off the world's most powerful military power that's ever existed by using sharp sticks and rocks for like 250 years. You know how fucking crazy that is? The British couldn't beat us with cannons, rifles, rockets, and battleships. The Native Americans were like, we're going to fight you. And we were like, how? And they were like, I've got a stick. You're like, oh, well, good luck with that. And then 200 years later, we were like, fuck, man. These guys with sticks are fucking crazy. Like,
do you think you could go anywhere back in time with your face tattoos?
Yeah.
I think the natives might think you're pretty cool.
I could go to pretty much most places in like Eastern Europe and then Scandinavia. I could probably go to a few places in. I mean, I could go to a lot of like the Middle East and stuff back in the day, and they wouldn't have anything weird to say. If you went to Enlightenment period Arabic, like the fucking caliphates, they were like so cool. They would have been like, whoa, interesting. Talk to me.
I could almost go anywhere in any time.
Yeah, bro. You could literally just show up to Rome, and they'd be like, "What's up, fellow Roman?"
I have that perfect shade.
Oh, dude, yeah, you kill it. If you went to Africa, they'd be like, hey, it's an Egyptian. If you went to anywhere, they'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? I'm like,
my time traveler's privilege.
Yeah, man. You do look.
Also, I did eat a lot of food. I ate healthy. Think of how much I would tower over people. I'd be the strongest man ever at 5'10". Like going 100 years back, or people would be like insane. I'd be the Brock Lesnar of that era.
Girls would just be like, you would just have like hundreds of girls lined up to fuck the guy who has all his teeth.
Yeah.
This is crazy, dude. We gotta fuck this guy.
Wow, he's so powerful. He doesn't have scurvy.
Yeah. Look at this guy who's rich enough to eat a lime every week his entire life. This is crazy.
Yeah, it'd be so. I think if anyone went back 100 years, obviously no one would be able to figure out technology and all your schemes of getting rich. You just kind of have a general knowledge that I think would propel you enough to be like, all right, here's what I guess I'll become the richest lord of this little area and live out my life. You're not going to do anything game changing.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze has a great joke about that. How if he went back in time, he'd be doing worse than he is now. Like he couldn't even use his knowledge to do better. Like he would just be like, "Oh fuck, I don't know how to do anything or even tell you anything that would be important for you to know." Like, so funny. If I went back in time, I could predict things that were gonna happen and help people. Like, but it also depends on where I was. But if I just showed up to Rome, like during the Second Punic War, I'd be like, hey, you got Hannibal's crossing the Alps. Watch out for that. You know, and then they'd be like, whoa, this guy's fucking smart.
No, I wouldn't change history.
You wouldn't?
Actually, you know what? Maybe I would.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. It's not great now. Fuck it, man. Let's just see what happens.
I'm going to be dead anyways. So
yeah, dude. That's everyone always says don't change history. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna fucking change everything. If I'm back in time and I'm not... it depends. Am I going to get to go back forward in time to where I was? Then I guess I won't change it. Because
what if you went back in time and you gave everyone COVID? Just your new diseases.
What if you gave everyone COVID and then because of that they didn't trade and the Black Death doesn't happen?
No, but I'm saying like just the normal diseases living on the germs on us have been evolving for hundreds of years.
Oh yeah.
So if we just go back in time, what if everyone died because of the super germs living on us? That no one's immune to yet.
Yeah, true. That'd be tough.
You just have you're like, oh, the flu I had last week that barely affected me just wipes out all of your... That's probably how the Black Plague started. That's probably how COVID started.
Yeah.
Some time traveler sneezed.
God damn it.
Just a normal flu from 100 years in the future.
Dude, I love time traveling conspiracies.
It's so fun.
That's my thing I'm going to get into. I'm going to say time travel's real. Do you think they have a convention for time travelers?
Stephen Hawking threw a party for time travelers, but didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Didn't tell. He's like, I'm throwing a party for time travelers, and if time travel's real, they'll show up. But I'm not going to tell anyone ahead of time because I want them to know after the party happens. I'll announce that the party happened, and then if anyone comes back in time to when the party happens, that'll prove time travel's real. And no one showed up. He's like, it's not real. I'm like, what if you're just a fucking nerd and no one wanted to show up to your party?
Also,
what if that? What if you're a bad party host? What if
he wasn't though? That guy fucked.
He was on Epstein's Island and he did cheat on his wife, but that's aside the fact. We don't know if he was a party animal.
He sounds like a party animal. He doesn't sound good, but he sounds like a party animal.
What if that's why time travelers were like, hey, we can't be
Hey, we also know
we know
what
what
you've been up
happened.
to, Stephen fucking Hawking, you gross piece of shit.
I'm not going back in time to hang out with a pedophile.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's so funny.
Also, we don't know if Stephen Hawking was.
What is he going to do? What
But-
is his chair going to sue us? Because it has AI in it? Fuck him, dude. We can say whatever we want.
No, just,
His wife's not going to defend him. He cheats.
Yeah, he cheated. That's what happens when you hang out with Epstein.
That's so funny to be time travelers. Hey, man, fuck that.
Do you want to prove time traveling's real? No, not with that guy.
No, yeah, dude. Also, if you wouldn't want to prove time traveling's real because you'd want it to be a secret.
No, I would go back in time. I'd tell everyone.
Yeah. Hey, just so you know, time travel's real.
I don't care.
Oh, what have you been using it to do? I don't know. Mostly just fuck random. I mean, that'd be so funny to go back in
I want to
time.
fuck ancient cave woman pussy.
Oh, dude, I bet it's crazy, dude. Because they'd have to be so strong.
Think about it. They'd probably love you for not hitting him over the head with a club.
Or they'd be like, this fucking cuck.
Or
didn't even hit, this guy's a fucking baby didn't even hit me with a rock while we had sex.
I would like to sleep with a Neanderthal lady.
Yeah.
Just to get one under my belt.
Neanderthussy.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Just to get one. Dude, what if, like, you know how some people are like, hey, you have 0.5% Neanderthal DNA. What if, like, humans never mixed, but a time traveler just went back and was like, I gotta fuck this Neanderthal. And then he goes back to his time traveler buddies and he was like, dude, her pussy was sideways and it was fucking crazy. You gotta get in there.
There was hair on the inside.
Whoa. Oh, dude. I don't know why that made me
And so
grossed out.
that's where humans come from. It's just a time traveler went back and was fucking Neanderthals.
Yeah, he's just fucking and he's like, oops, I got Neanderthal DNA into the pool. My bad, everybody.
And then the human DNA was just the dominant genes.
Yeah.
Maybe. I like it. It's a better theory.
It's a pretty good one.
These are all scientific theories that until someone comes up, the burden of proof relies on the person saying it's not true. I think that's the scientific method.
Dude, it is so funny to think of a Neanderthal with just just like a fucking rack on her,
Just
dude.
big old hairy titties.
Yeah, just big old hairy titties.
That's how they survive the winters. You want to?
What if you go back and the Neanderthals are just full on bimbos, like hairless, giant fucking tits, big lips, just looking so. You're just like, no wonder we fucking killed those guys and took their women.
What if that's time travelers are like? Yeah, why would we go to Stephen Hawking's part? Everyone, Neanderthals are the hottest babes.
Yeah,
as soon as they invented, guys just disappear and go back.
Yeah. If anyone goes to your party, more Neanderthal pussy for me. Like, dude,
I believe it.
That's probably why Neanderthal went extinct, because Homo sapien women were like, I gotta fucking put a stop to this.
Too many guys were going back in time and fucking them.
Dude, these Neanderthals are stealing all our fucking dick because they fucking. Meanwhile,
they were fucked to extinction.
That's how makeup was invented.
They're
like, we gotta compete with this Neanderthal pussy. We gotta do something out here.
Women had to meet up with the bimbo standards. Of
They started shaving and shit, trying to make themselves look like Neanderthals.
I believe it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, see, Homo sapien men don't deserve anything. I bet Neanderthal men were probably like, well, I'm not gonna fuck the other Homo sapien women. The fucking Neanderthal women, it's fucking crazy hot.
I heard Neanderthals were like weaker, and humans are like the real bastards killing them.
No, Neanderthals were stronger.
Nah,
we were mentally like Neanderthals were like, I'm powerful. I'm a Neanderthal. And then Homo sapien was like, all right, well, you're super strong, but I have a rock. And then he fucking hit him with a rock.
Diego, this is the end of the podcast, but for you watching on YouTube, you just watched Diego try and sneak under the camera in his
Not
underwear.
even kind of get close, dude. He was fully in frame the whole time. I mean, I deeply appreciate your effort. I love you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Oh, no.
And so we're going to have to blur that part of the podcast.
Duct tape your tripod. He broke his tripod.
That's the podcast for everybody. Very silly.
Yeah, it was a good one. Neanderthussy is the name of the podcast.
Sure, that's the name.
Hell yeah, dude! I got to name one. So never say I don't. And listen, I get a producer's credit on this episode.
I'll put you.
Thank you.
Produced
do
by.
you do the end? Is it produced by? And then it always says
No.
MacArthur.
This one will have it.
Hell yeah, dude! Produced by MacArthur, co-produced by Shayne Smith. Then we could give ourselves anytime if we ever like try to get a real job in entertainment. You know?
Be like I'm a producer.
yeah.
For a
Hey,
pop-
I produce a show.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's like those comics who, when they're like, "Do you have any credits?" They're like, "Yeah, I was on Netflix," and it's like, "No, you weren't."
yeah. I say anything. Dude.
But people will be like, I was on like they'll do like Conan and Fallon and stuff, and it's like, well, I did a show with a writer who wrote on his show, and it's like, what the fuck?
I do the anti thing where I say, don't say my specials, just say something funny.
Oh, you big dick the.
Yeah. I never let them say. I don't like real credits. I'm always just like, say whatever's in your heart. That's my thing.
That's fun.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. I don't need credits, dude. Just beef. Every comic who's like, cover your tattoos. Don't wear shorts. Oh, fucking whatever. It's like, have you ever tried being funny? What if you were just funny on stage and you didn't worry about that shit?
That works.
Anyway,
Anyways,
hey,
you got anything to advertise?
Patreon.com/cowboyboys.
That is for an extra episode.
For an extra episode, every episode we do another one. So if you are listening to this, you could, and you're like, wow, I want more of that. You can listen to it. It's even better and more uncensored. We really go crazy and we take the gloves off.
We actually do.
Yeah, we actually really do. Also, you can ask us questions on the Patreon. If you could say anything, and if it's formatted in the form of something we can answer, we will answer it at least once a month. You can also suggest to us like, hey, why don't you watch this movie and tell me what you think? Hey, fuck it, we might do it. So if you want to interact with us directly and affect the show in a real way, we're fucking doing it there. So patreon.com/cowboyboys. And then I'm going to be in Appleton, Wisconsin. What month is it? July? The third week of July?
It's coming up next week.
Next weekend, everybody. Whenever that is, you can see the date on this that you downloaded it. And then after that, I'm going to be in fucking Cleveland, Ohio. Then I'm going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I don't know.
Sure. ShayneSmithComedy.com.
I was going to tell you.
Yeah. Check the website, ShayneSmithComedy.com, for some stuff. I fucking love you guys. Mac, do you have anything you want to plug?
Not at the moment.
Hey, why don't we have shirts?
All right. Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, okay. Hey, everyone. All right. Bye. Love you. Yeehaw.